All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, my name is Craig. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. And we got somebody brand new with us. I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Carl. Nice to meet you guys.
Carl, that's right. He's part of our recovery team, and he's an employee here at Capital Recovery Center. So him and I are going to be going over this article. And so today, we're going to be talking about what is codependency and why is it dangerous. So this article is brought to you by HarmonyOakRecovery.com. So if you want this article, and if you know somebody who may need this article or find it interesting, go online and retrieve this article. It's called HarmonyOakRecovery.com. All right, enough of that. Let's get back into the meat and potatoes. All right, and so the first thing we want to talk about is what is codependency. I'm going to read some, Carl going to read some, and we're going to get through this smooth sailing. All right, and so what is codependency? All right, so what is codependency and why is it dangerous? While it might seem simple on the surface, this is actually a tough question to answer. Continue reading to learn more about codependency and the dangers that accompany it. At its core, codependency is an addiction to relationships or love. It manifests as an unhealthy fixation on other people. Codependents often ignore their own needs in order to try to help the people they care about the most. Anyone who is destructively concerned with the people in their lives could be codependent. It is helpful to note codependency most commonly occurs in people who have close relationship with addicts, such as family members, such as relationships. So there's a correlation dealing with codependency. These people are known as enablers, right? Anyone who lives in a home with an addict or is the parent of an addict often falls into this category known as an enabler. Though the terms codependent and enabler have a certain stigma attached to them, it is important to know that there is no shame in being one of those who struggle with this issue. The article says there's no shame. We all have loved ones that we care for and that we probably would do all we can to help them. The thing is, how far are we willing to go? Are we helping them or are we harming them? And so that's why we're talking about codependency and what is codependency. And so the next thing we're going to talk about, and that is how to spot codependency. Now, Carl, whenever you want to stop,
Yep, I'll start.
Stop, let me know, we'll go.
Codependency can be difficult to identify. This is because it can look like love. It's also frequently hidden due to the destructive addictions of people around the codependent. Their codependency differs from normal love is the sufferer harms themselves to help others. Here are some signs of codependency. 1, taking responsibility for the actions of others. Blaming themselves for problems in a relationship. Trouble maintaining healthy boundaries. Compulsively taking care of people. Feelings of worthlessness. Feeling a need to be liked by everyone. Consistently seeking a relationship but feeling incomplete when not romantically involved. Fear and abandonment. Attempting to control or manipulate others. Sacrificing happiness in order to please others. Poor sense of self outside of relationships. An ability to express needs or desires in order to have them met. Frequent feelings of shame. Obsession with changing the feelings and behaviors of others. The list is by no means comprehensive. Was it comprehensive? Yep. Anyone who is preoccupied with their relationships in their life likely has some measures of codependency. Those who try to please others rather than being true to themselves might also suffer from codependency.
That is so true. Carl just read about how to spot codependencies, and in all the lists that he read, they are valid and they are so true. A lot of times people begin to blame themselves. A lot of times people try to cover up or to attempt to control or manipulate others, by, giving them something so that they'll behave a certain way, just like an enabler, you thinking that you, just by giving them somebody who's addicted to drug money,
Yeah.
maybe they will be as nice or they won't be as abruptly. And so you will continue to give them. In the long run, we're doing more harm than helping the person.
They giving them something so they don't have to deal with the problem, deal with the issue.
Yeah.
And it's harder to spot codependency. When you're in it, it's hard to spot. And I think this is valid to really look into this to actually know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right, Carl. You're 100% right, man. It's very hard because you're in a relationship or that's your loved one. You can't spot the signs.
Nope.
Like you said, you can't spot it. So you just think you're just doing what's natural. I'm just helping out.
Yeah.
But in all reality,
You're harming.
you're doing more harm. All right, so we're going to talk about the next one, and that is what codependency isn't. All right, what codependency isn't. The article says, though codependency is called relationship addiction, it is not an addiction in the same way that substance use disorder, SUDS, or alcohol use disorder, are addiction. Instead, it is a learned behavior. The article says it is a learned behavior. It's not a relationship addiction. It's a learned behavior, right? This behavior is caused by the base human need to love and be loved. Where it becomes a destructive addiction is when those desires cause the codependent to harm themselves in the pursuit of love. You thinking that you're doing so much good, but you actually harming not only the person that you think you're helping, but you harming yourself. You neglecting yourself for the needs of somebody else. You're allowing somebody to cross those boundaries that you normally wouldn't allow somebody to cross. And so these are things that we must be aware of, right? And so the problem isn't the love itself. It isn't even the desire for love. It is the action being taken in service to love. When people injure themselves in order to get love, maintain love, or acquire self-esteem, that is when love turns to codependency. Wow. That is very, very important. When you begin to neglect yourself for someone else, and when you are searching outside of yourself for self-esteem, then that is a form of codependency. All right. Hey, Carl, man, we on the move, man. How you feeling? All right?
Good.
All right, let's rock and roll, man. All right. Let's deal with the other one, bro.
Where codependency comes from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Codependency also always begins in childhood. It starts with a parent, household, children raised with abuse or neglect come to believe they are the cause of the problems in the home. They also tend to think they have no value. Frequently, the child doesn't receive the love they need from their parents. This causes them to seek out love elsewhere. This becomes a lifelong quest for affection and value. Codependents then end up reacting to the chaos of their childhood. Then they blame themselves when things don't go the way they want and their needs continue to suffer.
So the article tells us codependency comes from a rooted place, and that is from a chaotic household. And sometimes we recreate the same behaviors or emulate the same behaviors that we once seen growing up as a child. So we got to be mindful of chaotic household because a lot of times, unfortunately, it's that maybe out of our control, but still we have to think about, do we want to carry on that behavior as adult when we have our own family?
A lot of things do happen and start from childhood in life, not just codependency, a lot of things. And as we grow older, we got to look at definitely shine light on these things because, you know, like I said earlier, sometimes we don't know it until we're out of it. And we're like, wow.
Yeah. And that's so true. I was talking about something earlier about most of us who are in recovery. I am in recovery, and a lot of us who have been addicted to drugs and who may be in recovery may have suffered some mental health issues.
That too. Yeah.
So, like you said, is deeper than the drugs itself.
For sure.
There could be some post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, it can be some not just a chaotic household, but it could be some abuse to it too.
In the drugs and alcohol, you know, I think not just one day we think we're just going to be drug addicts and alcoholics. You know, I think, you know, it stems from, you know, from the household. You know,
watching
a lot of that, right? And your surroundings, your friends, a lot of it.
Yeah,
you know, just it's really not about drugs and alcohol.
Yeah,
after a while, you know, but that is a main factor.
Yeah, like the article says, a lifelong quest for affection and value. You know, when you're seeking other things outside of your household, and that can be really detrimental, especially when you come from a structured and household environment where everything was has its values, principles, and morals. Then you go outside in the world. Now it's something totally different. Totally different. All right, man. We're doing good, man. So let's talk about the next one. What's the next one? Talking codependency and addiction. All right, I got this one. Codependency is most prevalent in relationships where there is an addiction. This can include romantic relationships, family, or friendships. These relationships are typically marked by enabling behaviors. They are called enabling because they enable the substance abuser to continue in their addiction. These are some common behaviors of codependents close to substance users. So there are several bullets here, and the first one says, rescuing the user from financial or legal trouble. You become an enabler when you do this thing. A codependent. Cleaning up after their users. All right? Making it seem like, you know, nothing is going on. You know, everything is hunky-dory. No. We don't want to do that. All right? Those are boundaries. Helping the user hide their addiction from friends, family, and loved ones. Shame, guilt, right?
Yeah.
Lying to cover for the user, protecting the user from the consequences of their actions, allowing the user to continue using in the enabler's presence or home. That's a no-no. Because a lot of times, if you have little ones in your household, you definitely don't want them to see that.
No.
You know, so the other one, the next one says, agreeing with justification made by the user for their continued substance use, adopting the responsibilities of the user. Now you begin to take on their responsibility. When a loved one is using drugs and they don't go to work and is not taking care of their end of the bargain when it comes to bills and things like that, now the enabler or codependent or codependent person begins to maybe get a 2 job just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time, we're allowing others to do dysfunctional behaviors in our home.
And these things he just read for a recurring act, you know, made it feel like it was okay to do these things because I know that, you know, this person is going to help me get out of this. This person's going to clean up after this. So it's like, oh, I might as well keep on doing all these things. I got somebody to depend on.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so true because, you know, why I got to worry. they gonna take
Take
care
care
of
of
it,
it, yep.
legal issues, financial issues.
Yep.
I can go to them. Hey, so and so,
Yep.
I need a helping hand. So let's finish on reading what codependency addiction says.
Start off. Whenever someone is doing anything to assist an addict is using, they are enabling likewise. When they prevent the addict from facing consequences from their addiction, they all are also enabling. Through this is done out of love. It actually injures the addict. It permits the addict to continue on the path of self-destruction without feeling the pain of consequences. Addicts rarely get better, but this pattern also injures the codependent. They become trapped in the chaos that addiction causes. In many ways, they are willing to participate to the destruction.
Man, you just talked about that.
You just did.
Prior to reading that, you just said, if you're gonna do, if you're gonna take care of my financial things, and you're gonna step in when I should be stepping up, hey, why not keep using?
And it says on a destructive path, as it's going to keep us. And I think out of being loved ones and stuff like that, you want to be there for your loved ones, but like. Yeah. In reality, you're doing more harm than good. Like we've been talking about it, and it's sad to see, and you talking about the boundaries. You said earlier it's about boundaries with family members and friends, man, and you gotta be stern.
Gotta be stern, but loving at the same time.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to help someone that's struggling with addiction, reach out to a recovery coach. Reach out to a self-help group. Find different avenues that you can help a person that's struggling with substance use disorder, whether it's alcohol or drugs. And so we encourage you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to encourage you to do the opposite. Instead of enabling, we want you to find some support.
That's right.
All right. Let's talk about the other one called
the dangers of codependency.
Yes, sir. All right, it says many people live a codependent lifestyle until the day they die. Wow, that's powerful. Unlike other addictions, there are rarely legal ramifications. When there are, they usually come about because of attachment to an addict. Because they are typically so reliable, codependents are model employees. This reduces financial difficulties. As a result, there are few factors that can provide evidence that something is wrong. The hazard of codependency often arises only in the health of the individual, right? So codependents often have reduced immunity to disease, higher blood pressure, poor sleep patterns, and develop harmful habits. It's common for codependents to eat poorly to cope with the strain. They may also overspend to assuage their negative feelings. Acting out sexually is possible. Anxiety and depression are nearly constant companions. One of the worst problems with codependency is abuse within the relationship. This can be physically, mentally, emotionally, or sexually, because codependents ignore their needs. They often tolerate pain caused by their partners or family. Their desire for love is so great that they will accept it from those who treat them in a way that is decidedly unloving. Fortunately, there's help for anyone battling this condition. And so the last one we want to leave y'all with, and that is, voila, recovering from codependency.
The bad news about codependency is that it is a lifelong problem. As such, it will require ongoing treatment and constant vigilance. The great news about recovering from codependency is it liberating people in recovery from codependency get their lives back. They no longer live for others, but wholly for themselves. Wholly for themselves. Seeking out a mental health professional is always a good first step. These people provide perspective.
All right, and so we just read to y'all what is codependency and why is it dangerous. This is a family meeting, and so we hope that what we read, you were able to grab some good information, utilize it, and once again, know the difference between an enabler and codependency, and know that you may be doing more harm than helping your loved ones, friend, whoever they may be. Seek some professional help, some support groups. We encourage you to even just contact us, and we can link you to some of these services that we're suggesting. And you can do that by contacting us here at Capital Recovery Center, 856-391-7449, or our hotline number 1-800-236-2448. And as always, how can we help you with your recovery today? And what does recovery mean to you? Once again, my name is Craig.
I'm Paul.
And that's it for us tonight. Have a blessed one.